Wave 3 News meteorologist Ryan Hoke here with a Saturday morning edition of your Hokey video blog. Lots of questions this morning about the storms that happened last night. Why were they not in the forecast for Metro Louisville other than just a very small storm risk? Here's the deal. The outflow boundary that came out of southern Indiana, it's this big rush of cold air that came out of the storms up near Indianapolis, moved through southern Indiana, moved through Louisville, and it triggered additional storms. This is a process that cannot be forecast more than 2 to 3 hours out. We have had this happen before. I remember last summer we had a big one of these happen just like this, and they do catch a lot of folks off guard, unfortunately. We did, once we saw this process happening, we did put the word out that the storms were going to be moving into Metro Louisville with the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that is certainly what happened last night. That's why it's important this time of year to keep checking back with our forecast, because we can update you on these things as they happen, because unfortunately, even though meteorology is a pretty good science nowadays, it still can't trigger or pick up things like that more than 2 to 3 hours in advance. So I'm going to step off my soapbox on that one. Of course, many folks yesterday affected directly by the storms that set upon the Louisville area, including Forecastle. This is from P. Hardy on Twitter, got this morning. Look at these folks running for cover, a lot of screaming in the background because 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts were on the way. This wasn't 60 miles per hour here, but at least 30 to 40-mile-per-hour winds moving on through the Louisville metro area during that portion of time. We had carport destroyed up there in Clarksville by a tree. Amy sent this one in. And of course, Todd in the Highlands off Speed Avenue. Look at this. This was absolutely crazy. A pair of wires, electrical wires coming down and a transformer exploding triggered this fire here. That burned for, a portion of time before it was finally put out, or at least it burned itself out. And unfortunately, that was what we saw across much of the Highlands last night when the really strong winds pushed through, was trees down and power lines down. This morning, you'd never know what happened last night looking at the sky. It's beautiful out there. Temperatures in the 70s at this hour, and certainly we do have clearing skies across most of the area. A few high-level clouds moving in there on the satellite view. This is the accumulated precipitation from last night. This is Doppler radar indicated, but we can at least give you an idea of what fell and where. We had a report from near North Vernon of 5 inches of rain. You can see the 3.7 there measured by Doppler radar. Southern portions of up there in Jennings County, 2.2 inches. In eastern Clark County, 2.6. As close to Louisville as Floyd County, we had just under 3 inches of rain there. Here in the metro, picked up about an inch and a half. The airport was really where it stopped, about an inch down there. That's confirmed as well with the water numbers coming out from the rain gauge down there at the airport. Some of the high wind reports and the wind damage reports coming out from the Louisville metro area did include some flood reports as well. You'll see flash flooding up there in New Washington over portions of eastern Clark County. Here in the metro area, we did have that 47-mile-per-hour gust at Louisville International Airport. Just after that report was taken, we did have a 60-mile-per-hour gust as well, even a 62-mile-per-hour gust in PRP. Yikes, multiple trees down on cars up near Utica. Same story in the Highlands where we had trees and lines down. It was a mess last night. We will definitely give that storm credit where credit was due. It did put down some powerful winds, a lot of heavy rainfall, and fortunately this morning it has cleared out. Let's talk rainfall, because we are now up to 8.41 inches for the month, and that's including last night's rain. Had to add that total in this morning. You'll notice that puts us at the 7th highest rainfall number for July of any year here in Metro Louisville. I think by the end of this month we could easily be in the top 5. So no, it's not your imagination. We have had quite a bit of rain lately. I know my lawn is very clumpy right now. I had to mow it early yesterday. A lot of water still in there, but this isn't a beauty contest this time of year when you get so much water like this. You just got to get the lawn mowed at all costs when you get a dry stretch of time. Heat advisory in effect today and tomorrow. If you're mowing this afternoon, going to the Bats game, it is Star Wars night, or if you're going to Forecastle, drink plenty of water. Hydrate early, hydrate often. We want folks to be safe out there. Of course, the heat index values could top 105, maybe up to 107 in some spots. Already starting out muggy this morning in the 60s and the 70s. If you're heading out to Forecastle, it is going to be a hot one. 94 degrees this afternoon. Heat index of 103. you will notice that scattered storm chance. That's something we got to keep an eye on today, but especially tomorrow, because today's chance will be mainly south of the city. Tomorrow, I think that's going to be rounding just about everyone up. Here's Futurecast. Here's how it works out. Those scattered storms begin developing in our southern counties by 2 o'clock. They reach critical mass by 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon. Could see some gusty winds. Some of these could be strong, but I don't think severe weather is going to be a real big deal out there. Could hold on to a couple of these by the late night hours, but during the overnight they do fade away. Partly cloudy skies expected. A very calm start to your Sunday if you're heading out to Sunday services. Most of us still dry by dinner time on Sunday, but look what happens by 7:30. Yep, we got another line of storms moving through. I've only put the chance at 40% because it is difficult to discern the exactness of when this will come through and who it will affect. But I think the pretty constant thing in all of this is that we could have some wind damage as we go throughout your Sunday night. We'll be watching for that potential. Hopefully that line of storms does not come to fruition, but you'll see how it does move through, kind of like it does last night. We're not going to say a repeat of last night's going to happen Sunday night, but you'll definitely want to have the Wave 3 News weather app handy if you're heading out to Forecastle to keep up with the radar and with our latest forecast as well. It is a marginal risk of severe weather on Sunday night. I think that's a good call at this point. They may have to upgrade it to a slight based on some of the model data coming out, but they'll make that call as we go throughout late today and early tomorrow. There is the 7-day breakdown. You'll notice the rain chances on your Sunday will be maximized as we go throughout the late afternoon into the early evening. We start to wane as we go throughout the overnight hours on that rain chance. By Monday, there's another risk of severe weather. It's a slight risk just west of our counties. I think it does include, though, portions of what looks to be Breckenridge County near Hardinsburg. The western edge of that could be included in that, as well as the Tell City area, so we'll be watching for that. Marginal risk elsewhere. The storms Tuesday morning are going to be along an area of really just a front that's going to be pushing through, bringing our temperatures down to the upper 80s for the afternoon, maybe some slightly lower humidity. The rest of the week, though, more 90s. At least the storm chances do go down. It looks like the coverage of storms will be a lot lower as we go throughout the latter portion of this work week. A lot going on, I know, and unfortunately it does include more storms in the forecast. We're waterlogged. We don't need any more rain. But I think it's better than a drought, don't you, this time of year? Because we could certainly be dealing with one of those as we do some years during the July and August time frame. All right, download the Wave 3 News weather app. Have that handy today for the storms. And, of course, the latest on the heat coming our way. We'll make sure to have updates for you as we go throughout this weekend on Wave 3 News. For now, I'm Meteorologist Ryan Hoke. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.